All right, so for starters, we have our primary emotions. Okay, these are universally experienced emotions that we are born with. Universally means regardless of where you were born, when you were born, we all are born with it. They are innate, okay, with us when we are born. However, these emotions, according to the different theorists, vary, okay? So we all have them, but what they are changes depending on who the theorist is. Excuse me. So some examples include fear, anger, joy, enjoyment, happiness, sadness, disgust, surprise, anticipation, contempt, anger, and disgust. Essentially feeling like we are better than others, right? So let's break that down a little bit. These are the most common ways of separating these out. We have distress, interest, and pleasure. And I'm not sick, by the way. I just had oatmeal for lunch, and I have a piece of it stuck in the back of my throat. So under distress, we have emotions such as anger, sadness, fear, and disgust. Under interest, you might have things like surprise. Pleasure, we have happiness. Now, with these being primary emotions, things that you are innately born with, you were born with the ability to be happy. That whole idea of the pursuit of pleasure and happiness, in that sense itself, it's basically saying you don't have it already. You have to pursue it. You have to chase it. You have to try to get it. You have to earn it. You have to buy things, right? You don't have it within you. It's outside of you. Therefore, you have to strive and struggle to try to be happy. The pursuit of, never obtaining. But what they're missing is the simple fact that you are actually born with happiness. You don't have to teach a baby how to laugh. They just do it, right? You also don't have to teach a baby how to cry. Trust me, they cry all on their own. It's our job to figure out how to make them stop, right? But in itself, these are things that they experience. We don't change them. We don't call them bad. When a baby is angry, we don't get mad at them, right? We don't tell them, don't do that, don't scream, don't kick, right? Because they're babies. It's natural for them to feel these things. However, what isn't natural are the secondary emotions. Now, secondary emotions are taught to us through social context, personal experience, our brain chemistry, cognitive processes, but essentially they are a blend of primary emotions that create the secondary emotions. Those emotions are things like guilt, shame, embarrassment, jealousy or envy, pride, and believe it or not, anxiety. We learn these experiences, right? They are taught to us through our experiences, the people that care for us, from watching other people. So essentially, if we're not born with it, it is unnatural for us to feel those things, which means we are taught how to feel guilt, how to feel shame, and around what things. And unfortunately, there's an entire profession established trying to help us overcome these things that are taught to us, things that we weren't born with. And it's called psychology, psychotherapy, going to a therapist, seeing a psychologist, in order for us to figure out why we feel this way, why we suppress our anger, why we are so ashamed of how we look, or shamed of how we feel about our own bodies, or overly anxious about everything. We're terrified of social interactions, of being judged, of being seen, of taking up space, of existing. We're scared of those things. It makes us feel uncomfortable. But remember, none of those are things that we are born with. We learned it from somewhere. Someone taught it to us. So, with us going to therapy, maybe not all of us, but I think my personal opinion is that everyone should go to therapy at least once in their life. And definitely before they get married. Just saying. So with therapy, I have learned, because I have gone to therapy for many, 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 many years. I've gone through several different types of therapists. I actually used to have this habit of, I would call up my therapist. I finally found one that I absolutely loved. And I would call her up and I'd be like, hey, there's this thing I'm dealing with. I don't know how to deal with it. It's stressing me out. Help me. And so we would kind of work through all of the experiences that I was having, the feelings that it brought up, the memories that it reminded me of, why I was having these emotional flashbacks to my childhood that I didn't even remember, right? Also, I could get through this one thing in my life. And then once I did, I was like, all right, great, thanks. I'll give you a call next time. A year would go by and I'd be like, hey, me and my boyfriend keep having this argument about this thing that triggers me, and I don't know why it's so upsetting when he says he's going to do laundry. Come to find out, it's because I was associating it with the time that my ex-husband went to do laundry with his lover, cleaned my dirty underwear with her. And so every time my current boyfriend said he was going to do laundry, I would freak out. I'd be like, no, you can't go without me. I'll go with you. Hey, let me just stop what I'm doing. I'll go with you. And I had no idea why I was doing that until I went to a therapist and worked it out. And so sometimes we need to have help just talking things out, figuring out what it is that we're going through, why we're going through that. Because sometimes an outsider can have a perspective that you didn't even see. So some of the things I've learned about going to all of these therapists was the steps to healing. So we're going to discuss that a little bit. So almost every therapist I had ever been to, they gave me these same steps. 1, label the feeling. Now the body is where we have our feelings. Ever heard the term stabbed in the back? You can actually feel it almost in your back when somebody betrays you. So what does it feel like to be angry, sad, excited, scared? One of the first things the therapist will ask you is, how are you feeling? But how does that make you feel? It's all about the body. What are we experiencing within ourselves? Which will then help us label what we are feeling. Now these are where the emotion words come in. Right? We start labeling what we are feeling. Well, I just feel so anxious. Well, what does that feel like? Well, I don't know, my hands are shaky, my palms are sweaty, like there's just like this knot in my stomach. And then when we can label all of those sensory things that are happening within our body, we can say, oh, so your body is feeling threatened. You're having the fear response. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, those kinds of things. Once you know what emotion you're feeling, we can actually start moving on to the next step, which is the trigger. Why are you feeling that way? What caused you to feel this way? Was it a situation that happened? Was it a certain person? Did they say something? Did they do something? Did you fail a quiz? Get a bad grade? Got a text message? What happened to cause this feeling? And then, of course, Just let it go. Feel the feeling. Label the feeling. Figure out why you feel that feeling, and then just let it go. Forgive, forget. The world is full of sunshine and butterflies once again. And I always felt like there was something missing. How do you go from I'm fucking pissed to let it go? Everything's great. I forgive you. It's okay that you cheated on me again. It's okay that you slept with my boyfriend again. It's okay that you stole money from me again. And again, and again, and again. But you know what? If I can't let it go, there's something wrong with me. I have to learn how to forgive you. Because anger is not okay. I can't express my anger. I can't say, this isn't okay. I can't say no, because guess what? When I was a kid growing up, saying no to your parent wasn't okay. And so you learn to be quiet. You bite your tongue. Don't be angry, because that will hurt people. Don't be angry because they'll be disappointed in you. No, not quite. There is something missing here. You need to comfort yourself. Years of therapy, I had 1, 2, and 3, and let it go. It wasn't until one day when I was like, no, there's something else. There's something that's not there. And I can't figure it out because I'm still angry, but I can't even express it. And it's because no one ever told me that the last step there is that I needed to learn how to comfort myself. I need to learn how to breathe, calm down, feel that feeling, understand why I was feeling it, label it, but then make myself feel better in order to process everything before I could let it go. So of course I couldn't let it go because I didn't know how to make myself feel better first. I held that fear and that resentment and that anger. So I do want to point out that feeling anger and resentment and all of those other things is totally okay. Just like Alan Watts said in that video. Feel what you're feeling. Even if it's hate, even if it's anger, even if it's frustration, feel it. There's nothing wrong with it. But what that also means is that there are certain, we'll say, acceptable expressions of anger. Like Alan Watts said, just because you feel the anger does not mean that you have to act on it. Just because you feel like you want to kill somebody doesn't mean you actually have to go kill them. Right? We can choose not to act on those emotions. But there is a universal unwritten rule about anger management. Do not harm yourself, do not harm others, and do not harm objects. Which means yelling, screaming, crying, those are all okay. You can do that. It's not hurting anyone. When my dad died, and I had a really hard time processing that whole thing because I still had a lot of anger and resentment about my childhood. And I had a hard time missing somebody that I never really knew. And I didn't know how to deal with that. So finally, somebody told me the best advice ever. They said, have you gone to a cornfield? And I said, I'm sorry, what? They said, have you gone to a cornfield? I'm like, what the hell is that gonna do? It's not gonna fix anything. It's not gonna change my childhood. It's not gonna make me feel closer to him. It's not gonna help me grieve. And they said, just go to a cornfield. Just go to the middle of a cornfield and see what happens. They didn't tell me what to do there. They just said, just go there. And so I went there. I stand out in the field and I look around. It's like late fall, so it's cold. It's about to snow. Of course, we live near Ithaca, so there's nothing but gray skies. Wonderful, right? And I'm just standing there, all of the stalks cut down low. And I look around, and there's no one there. Completely alone. It took me like 20 minutes to walk from my car to the middle of the cornfield because the thing was freaking huge. And I look around and I'm like, I'm alone. Like, there's nobody here. There's no distractions. I left my phone in the car. Couldn't just text somebody, call somebody. Couldn't write anything down. I was just standing there. I did the only thing I could do because I felt something just bubbling up inside me. I couldn't label it, but then I just screamed as loud as I could, as hard as I could, for as long as I could. And I screamed and I screamed and I screamed until I collapsed on the ground. And then, and only then, did I finally cry after my father passed away. But notice, I didn't harm anyone by releasing that anger. It's okay to cry out in anger. It's okay to be angry with somebody if they hold you down, hold you back, or constricts you in any way. Take a baby and hold their arms down or pin their legs down so you could change their diaper. And let me tell you what, they will never scream louder in any other moment ever. Because we as humans do not like to feel constricted. We don't like being held down. We don't like being told no. We don't like being held back from the things that we want to obtain in our lives. Whether it's a goal or winning the sports game or getting that graduation diploma or whatever it might be. We don't like it when we are held back in any way, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. We don't like it, and we will fight against that. It's also okay to be angry when somebody takes something away from you. Whether it was your favorite toy as a child, whether it is, I don't know, that boombox that you got for Christmas that got taken away because you snuck out of the house again. We get angry when people take things from us, like our sense of identity, our peace, our mental stability, the feeling that, we're sane. We don't like it when those things are taken away from us. So it's okay to be angry when those things happen. It's also okay to be angry when your intentions or your expectations are not met. You really wanted to finish school. You really wanted to get an A. You really wanted to do something like quit smoking and you just couldn't. It's okay to be angry when we don't get the things that we want. But how you express that anger is what makes all of the difference. Kicking something, hitting someone or something, throwing objects, breaking things, punching walls, verbal or physical abuse or violence are not okay. If you can be angry, so can your partner be. But that does not give them the right to harm themselves or you or other things. So yelling into the void is okay. Yelling at someone is not okay. By the way, I learned this from therapy. The words, "I hate you," is actually verbal violence. It is aggression intended to harm someone. So someone telling you that they hate you, whether it's you yelling at your parent, "I hate you," or even a partner saying, "I love you," but in anger, "I freaking love you, what's wrong with you?" That's not okay. Silent treatments, by the way, with the intent to cause psychological stress or to force an apology, is emotional neglect, emotional manipulation, and is therefore a form of abuse. However, remaining silent until you calm down enough to have a rational conversation with somebody as an adult is perfectly acceptable. You are allowed to walk away from a situation in order to calm down, to come back to it later. As long as you are not intentionally giving someone the silent treatment just to make them say sorry. Not facing the issue at all is a form of self-neglect. In fact, it's considered self-abandonment, missing self-loyalty. Now, self-loyalty is an interesting word. One day my therapist said, "You have no self-loyalty." And my response was, "What's that?" I didn't even know what the word meant. I asked her to define it for me, and she explained it to me, and I said, I still don't get it. The concept was so foreign to me that I was like, wait, so it's like standing up for myself? Like saying that I'm angry? Being okay with my feelings? That's self-loyalty? To this day, I still have a hard time defining it for other people. I think I finally hit that point where I feel like I'm a little more loyal to myself than I used to be. But I still have a hard time explaining it to others, like I just said. All right, next up. So special note. Someone said this to me once, and I was like floored by it. Both time and space are needed for healing. A good friend once told me, you cannot fully heal in the same environment that hurt you. And you cannot be comforted effectively by the same person who made you cry. Like, that still gives me goosebumps to this day. Somebody else told me once, they said, now, did you guys go through that together? Or did he put you through that? Because I was like, well, we've been together for so long, you know, it's just like, we've gone through so much together. And she said, no. He put you through that. You didn't go through it together. I said, oh, kind of blew my mind. So, with that being said, feel the feeling, label it, figure out what triggered that experience, and comfort yourself. Now that comfort, I apparently don't have it on here. Oh, I missed a whole step of my notes. We're going to backtrack a little bit. So we have stabs in the back. That is all in the body, feeling it. Trigger is in your head. What initiated the emotion, what caused it, are the underlying emotions. Comfort self, listen to your heart, and then let it go, as we all know, is easier said than done. All right. So I don't know why I just erased that. All right, hang on, I'm gonna stop this video. We're gonna do an activity.